Dear learners, today's topic is Knowledge Network for Sustainable Rural Livelihood. In this session, we will learn about role of information communication technology into building up the knowledge system. We will learn about genesis of knowledge network and ICT based knowledge centers in rural India. We will understand the three-tier system of knowledge network. We will learn about information system linkages between the three-tier knowledge system. Revolution of information communication technologies are playing a key role in accelerating the improvement in livelihood and implementation of global development goals through knowledge sharing in all sectors. ICT provide opportunities for low cost access to information. It facilitates information dissemination, enhance interactivity, improve feedback mechanisms and encourage participation in rural India. Further, the role of ICT in accessing more information in order to enhance the food security and support rural livelihood have been increasingly recognized and officially endorsed at the World Summit on Information Society of 2003 to 2005. According to Webster Dictionary, knowledge refers to the fact or condition of knowing something with familiarity gained through the experience or association. Accordingly, what is known is generally recognized. On similar lines, MIT in 2020 they have defined knowledge system in terms of sustainability as an organized structure and dynamic process of generating and representing content, component, classes or a type of knowledge that is domain specific or characterized by domain relevant features as defined by the user or the consumer. The information is reinforced by a set of logical relationships that connect the content of knowledge to its value, that is, utility of the knowledge. It is also enhanced by a set of iterative process that enable the evolution, revision, adaptation and advancement of knowledge. The knowledge is subject to a criteria of relevance, reliability and of course the quality. In present context of sustainable livelihood, the important component of knowledge system are availability, access and absorption. Availability here determines the adequate availability of food for home consumption as well as for market. Accessible means the economic access of food depend very much on the opportunities for employment and for multiple livelihood sources. Absorption can be in terms of even if the food is consumed in adequate quantity, the biological absorption and utilization of food in body depends upon the availability of clean drinking water and environmental hygiene. Thus, the ultimate aim of knowledge system is to create condition conducive for a health and a productive life for all. Apart from the information needed for farming, rural people also require access of information related to healthcare, on-farm and off-farm livelihood options. What are the market-led entrepreneurship opportunities for the poor or the marginalized people within the rural India? All these information are empowered with the help of contemporary information and communication technology through knowledge networks. Thus, the vision of knowledge networks are to harness the power of ICT in terms of knowledge, skill, economic, social empowerment of the rural families, which is based on the principle of reaching the unreached and voicing the voiceless, or for those unheard people. Let us understand what are the ICT based knowledge centers in rural India. In order to bridge the digital divide in rural India, there are certain basic guidelines which are required to be followed, that it should be across social, gender, genetic and technologically divide should be taken into the account. The first one is demand driven. The information should be local specific and demand oriented and should be relevant to the day to day life and works of rural community. It should be a user controlled and user managed. That is, the local community should have a sense of ownership of the knowledge center by making contribution towards the expenses of knowledge centers. This will also ensure the long term economic sustainability of the program. The third one is social inclusion. These knowledge centers will operate on the principle of social inclusion, that is, presenting a win-win situation for all stakeholders within the communities. Let us understand about the genesis of knowledge network within India. A user-centric system that disseminates a value-added information for knowledge empowerment was first designed by M.S. Swaminathan Research Foundation located in Chennai in 1992. This institution gave the concept of information village, which was to meet the needs of farmers with the advanced technology. This research foundation piloted the use of ICT through a hub and spoke model to establish village resource center and village knowledge center in 1997. This ICT based model improved the availability of timely information as a knowledge to the farming community by bridging the gaps of knowledge, digital or gender. A study carried out by National Sample Survey in 2004 and 5 on farmers' access to modern technology for farming have shown that 60% of farmers do not have access to any source of information on modern technology to support their farming practices. The main source of information basically are progressive farmers or the input dealers, besides the broadcast media such as radio, television or newspapers. Only 5.7% of farmers have sourced information from public sector extension workers and only 0.7% of farmers from Krishi Vigyan Kendras. Thus, there was a strong disconnect between the farmers and the knowledge holders. So, there was an urgent need for timely information and knowledge services through ICT, and of course, it was possible through intervention by Government of India. With active collaboration of several international and national partners, a concept of 3-tier knowledge networks with a national level hub was developed. It has a provision of uplink and downlink satellite connection, which was developed in partnership with Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO. In year 2004, then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh inaugurated village resource centers. This project was established jointly by Indian Space Research Organization of Department of Space, Government of India and MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. Basically, this is a satellite based project which is aimed for digital connectivity to remote villages for a need based single window delivery system for providing services in the areas of education, health, nutrition, weather, environment, agriculture and livelihood to the rural population to empower them to face the different kind of challenges. The multiple service of these projects are telemedicine, teleeducation, panchayat planning, training component, weather information, marketing information, drinking water, watershed development. Let us now understand the three-tier system of knowledge network. Basically, it is a hub and spoke model. The facilitating agency or hub on national level is the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. At block level, there is a village resource center, and at village level, there is a village resource center. The information linkage is provided by the uplink and downlink facility by the ISRO. Let us understand more detail about this. Village resource center act as a hub to understand the knowledge needs of farming people, process of information into value added knowledge and deliver it to the spokes, that is the village knowledge center. So basically the village resource center is the hub and village knowledge center are the spokes of the model. The wired and wireless technologies are used to establish an information network to the farming community. The main aim of this knowledge network is to develop a user controlled, user owned, user managed networks which will help reach the unreached and include all the earlier excluded members in terms of knowledge, information and skill empowerment. The three-tier system of knowledge network underpinned the formulation of Mission 2007, that is every village a knowledge center. This was through a develop of alliance of stakeholders across the India to encourage different stakeholders to promote knowledge empowerment among the community using different models. This alliance was later named as Rural Knowledge Movement, that is Gramin Gyan Abhiyan. Let us understand the first tier, that is facilitating agency or hub. The facilitating agency or hub will connect several data generators and data providers such as the universities, experts, financial institutions, corporate sectors, technocrats, grassroots academics. These all are the data generators and data providers. They will all connect with each other with the prime focus on content and capacity building. So, the main aim of the facilitating agency or hub is to provide necessary capacity building, content, management strategies to the staff of village resource center, and knowledge workers will maintain the village knowledge center and the rural communities. The second tier is village resource center. Village resource center is located at block level or community level or mandal level or it is equivalent to any administrative level. The facilitating agency will connect village resource center through ICT mode such as internet or satellite with the assistance from space application centers at the state level. This will be helpful in transferring the knowledge and information to village resource center from facilitating agency and vice versa from facilitating agency to village resource centers. So, it is a sharing of knowledge between the facilitating agency and village resource center. Till March 2021, there are 461 village resource center across India, which are set up in 22 states and union territories of India. These are Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Delhi, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Odisha, Puducherry, Rajasthan, Sikkim, Tamil Nadu, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These 461 village resource center nodes include 81 expert centers. These village resource centers also conduct over 6,500 programs addressing the areas like agriculture or horticulture development, fisheries development, livestock programs, water resources, telehealth care, awareness programs, women's empowerment, supplementary education, computer literacy, microcredits, microfinance, skill development or vocational training for livelihood support, and so far over 5 lakh people have benefited from these village resource centers. The third tier is village knowledge centers. Village knowledge centers are normally located among the cluster of village or at the panchayat level. All necessary infrastructure such as space and electricity will be provided by the partners like elected village administration, traditional village administration, farmers or fishermen associations, milk societies, youth club. These all will bear the cost of necessary infrastructure. These village knowledge centers are managed by trained knowledge workers. Trained knowledge workers are the workers who will disseminate information and knowledge to all and everyone, including the farmers, fishers, landless laborers and the local people. The village knowledge center examine the needs of communities, particularly in the area of content and training and awareness programs. It also provide financial support for purchase of equipment and other reading material which are required for the library. The knowledge workers act as a conduits to facilitate knowledge transactions between the farmers and experts. This will ensure the community ownership and ensures sustainability. The knowledge workers also facilitate the connection of farmers with the helpline, thus allowing them to have a detailed discussion with the experts. This was made possible as village knowledge centers accommodates diverse tools to leverage knowledge resources to support farmers in need. Helpline services for agriculture that are supported by village resource centers are recognized as successful tools by the farmers, as these helpline services help them to acquire the required knowledge to address crop related issues, specifically in relation to the pest or disease management. Such kind of bottom up approach, community ownership and inclusive development enable the access of information and localizing the networked information into a useful information. This result into the success of village knowledge center. Let us understand the information system linkages within the three-tier knowledge system. ICT can play a major role in agriculture and sustainable rural development as an accelerator for facilitating timely delivery of value added information to enable farmers to undertake informed decisions. The flow of information are passed through linkages among the village resource and knowledge centers, connecting the knowledge seekers, that is the farmers, with the knowledge holders, that are the researchers, government institutions, agriculture based NGOs and progressing farmers. These linkages between the traditional approach of land to land, that is farmer to farmer communication, enable peer learning among the farmers, and lab to land is from scientist to farmers communication enables farmers to interact with the knowledge holders directly to better equip them to manage the challenges in the agriculture. The four information system linkages for knowledge system are lab to lab, lab to land, land to land and lab to land communication. In the present context, the lab denotes scientist and the land denotes farmers. In lab to lab connection, there is a consortium of scientific institution and data providers. In second one, lab to land connection, there is a symbiotic linkages between the provider of information and the user, so that the information disseminant is relevant to the life and works of the rural families. The third one, land to lab connection, is basically the traditional knowledge and wisdom flow from rural and tribal families about the sustainable management of natural resources, particularly water, biodiversity, to the community, to the scientific community for learning, validation, conservation and propagation. The technical experts learn not only from the traditional knowledge and experience, but also should take steps to conserve for prosperity and dying wisdom and dying crops. The fourth one is land to land information flow. In this connection, there is a scope of a lateral learning among the rural families which generally exist across the villages. Such kind of learning has a high credibility because the knowledge coming from fellow farmers would have subjected to an impact analysis from the point of view of economic and social relevance to the population. Thus, in present session, we have learned about the role of ICT in knowledge system for sustainable livelihood. We have also learned about the three-tier system of knowledge network and also learned about the information system linkages between the three-tier knowledge system. Thank you all and happy learning.